car seats. I feel like you guys look at this. Like, I feel like if I have to put my kids in the car seats, either we're doing everything or we're doing nothing. Because I don't want to get everybody in the car just to have to buckle them up, unbuckle them, buckle them again. I have 3 in car seats. Well, technically I have 5 in car seats, but the older 2 can buckle themselves and the younger 3 cannot. So I spend half of my life buckling kids in the car.
I just don't like going anywhere by myself. I don't trust people.
Welcome back to Waddling After Dark. I'm Christian.
And I'm Alicia. 2 moms with 9 kids in between us and 0 filters.
And a lot of chaos.
Where the kids are asleep, the husbands are on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, they think we come on here and just talk crap, okay?
But the chaos is still wide awake.
Because moms don't sleep, so
No.
we're all sleep deprived. I know I am. That's for dang sure.
7 Brew has been my best friend.
I wish. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe.
On all platforms. Christian, make a rainbow of all the platforms. Imagination.
No, seriously, we're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all your favorite platforms.
Yes.
And our Facebook is a poppin'. And if you're not on our Facebook, you're missing out.
Yes. So like, comment, share.
Also, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, please follow us and sorry. Please follow and leave a comment and share it out to your favorite mom, because also leaving comments helps others find us.
We see you.
It pushes us out.
Or don't be nice. So we got a new game today. Christian knows none of these questions. So
I have it in front of me, but I haven't read it.
Yes. So this game is called Agree to Disagree.
Okay.
So if we agree, we agree. If not, disagree. The more feral your responses are, the better.
I'm scared.
So number 1.
I know you guys are too.
Agree to disagree. If men had to give birth, humanity would end.
100%. We would stop at 1. Yes, I agree.
They would find a better way to do it where they didn't have to feel anything.
That's fair. They're pretty like, they're just pretty smart to like figure out how to like
just,
you know, smarter. Okay, listen, men tend to work smarter, not harder. Okay, we have to give them credit where credit is due. All right, women, we just kind of suffer through when they're like, this could be done better. How do we do this better?
Just so you know, 2 weeks after I gave birth to my son, my husband passed a kidney stone, and he was literally keeled over in the bathroom, and he was like, you don't know how bad this hurts. And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, looking at my 7-pound baby, and then I watched him pass it, and I was like, well, go get your morphine.
Yeah, enjoy
your morphine. And he
that's funny. Yeah, I have heard that sucks, like really bad. I've given birth. I'm not saying I've given birth unmedicated, so I know that ish hurts like worse than anything else in the world.
For the other people out there, yes, I feel bad for you for kidney stones. For my husband, that is karma.
Especially for the comment. Okay, if he didn't say you don't know how I feel, like he wouldn't have deserved the like.
My husband is also one of those frequent flyers to the ER. The minute. Like, he can convince himself that he's dying and he's in the ER, and I'm like, you're literally just gonna go get an IV and morphine and you're gonna sleep for 4 hours while I'm up with your feral kids.
True story.
I don't go to the ER unless I have to. I spent 10 years of my life taking people there, so I don't go.
I don't go either. It's not fun. So I read number 2, and I forgot it already, but like I do remember.
Okay, so she agrees with number 2, and you'll see why. Pregnancy brain or mom brain is just an excuse. Obviously not, because she already forgot.
I definitely forgot. But I'm also sleep deprived. I'm like super tired. If I showed you my like sleep on my Apple Watch, you'd be like, I feel for you. I'm gonna hire you a nanny so you can take a little nippy nap.
Pregnancy brain just turns into mom brain, and honestly, it just doesn't get better because you're just like,
yep.
I feel like mom brain and ADHD brain just go hand in hand, because as a mom and ADHD, the best way I can describe how I feel is I feel like I'm an open browser with all these tabs, and
that is the best way to describe it.
Close any of them. Like, I'm always going a million miles an hour.
Honestly, seriously, that's how it feels. And Yeah, sometimes, especially when you get like overwhelmed, it's like there's music playing on one of the 20 tabs and you're like trying to figure it out without like breaking the computer.
To figure out which turn it up. Alexa, turn it up.
Yeah, for real. I hate that. There's an Alexa in here, but she's been broken for a while, so she's not connected to the internet. No.
I could just see Josh being like,
no,
she just wanted to join in, apparently.
Always. Maybe call her, to be fair.
Number 3, I have cried over food while pregnant.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah, I definitely did. I would have never thought that was a thing, but yeah, it's a thing. I cried over Panera pretty hard. I don't even know if it was a Panera or if it was because I was hungry and I also had to pee, and then I was like planning to go pee at the restaurant and it was closed.
I cried because first trimester was very brutal for me, and I just remember I could not eat anything my first trimester, and I was at the studio and my dad came in one day and I was just sitting there crying and he was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I'm just so hungry." And I said, I cried myself to sleep yesterday because he's like, "Why didn't you call me?" I was like, "I didn't want to talk to you about it.
Feed me if I could feed myself."
He's like, "Well, I would have helped make it feel better." I said, "No, because I'm just hungry." Like, just my dad. My dad is like,
he's the sweetest. He's the sweetest.
So, number 4, babies know when you're trying to get freaky. I feel like they do.
This one's hard. They know when you're trying to get freaky. Like babies or like kids?
All of the above.
I'm going to disagree.
You're going to disagree?
Yeah, I've not. I mean, like, there's been times, right? But like, typically, like,
so I read something
plan accordingly.
I actually read something on Facebook the other day that this woman said that when you have kids, you are not allowed to do anything unless your kids are asleep. And this one mom was like, "Screw that! I'm gonna put on Bluey in the living room and I'm gonna
go get mine." That's funny. No, honestly, just plan accordingly. And clearly, I haven't had that issue. I have 5 kids under the age of 7. Like, they were 7 years and younger. So clearly, I don't have that problem. Sorry.
Next one.
Not judging. It's hard.
It is. First trimester is the hardest part of pregnancy.
Yes.
I feel like that and maybe the last few weeks of pregnancy.
No, it's definitely no. I want to say, yeah, it for sure is the hardest part of pregnancy just because, like, it truly is the most miserable experience of your life.
Well, I feel like
there's just no way around it.
Mentally, it's hardest in the first trimester, but physically, it's harder than the last trimester because, like, I feel like sometimes you're like in pain.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It depends on the pregnancy. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like with my last baby specifically, I was definitely in pain, and it is like a struggle because you're not sleeping and everything like that. And I will say, newborn sleep is definitely better than pregnancy sleep. I know that's like a whole thing, and I definitely think that you sleep better when you have a newborn, only because you're not uncomfortable. But I definitely think the hardest part of the third trimester is like the unknown and like the what's that called? Limbo that you're in, like waiting for your baby to come. So
yeah,
I just think the nausea and like the nausea makes the days go like long in the first trimester, and like being hungry but not being able to eat because it makes you feel nauseous, and then like being nauseous because you can't eat, like it's just like constant drama. I don't know. I think if you were to ask me with different babies, I'd have a different answer. But for my overall over my 5 pregnancies, I would definitely say the first trimester is the worst.
I agree. I do feel like the first trimester is the worst, but I do feel like the last week of pregnancy, when I knew I was about to give birth, I think it was hard just because I knew I was over it and I was done.
It's a lot of frustration.
Yeah, I think that's
different.
what it was.
So, like, I would say the first trimester is miserable, and the last trimester is miserable, but it's like miserable for different reasons. Like, you are in pain, but it's like, I don't know. I guess, like I said, you'd have to. It's different depending on who you're talking to, especially if like women get HD. Whoa! Don't do that, Alicia. You scared me. Okay. Before we ask any more questions, don't forget to like, follow, and leave a comment down below, especially on Apple Music and Spotify, because it helps other moms find us. Please leave a comment. Please follow us, because
and let us know if you agree that babies know when you're trying to get freaky.
Yeah. Because Alicia thinks yes.
Yes, I do.
And I think
they know when you're trying to get in the shower. I think they know when you're trying to.
They for sure know when you're trying to nap.
When you're eating a snack, and I think they know. I think they just have little radars that are like.
So last night, I'm just gonna tell a quick story. So last night, I was like, we were going to bed, and I was like, Josh, I'm thinking about like running a bottle into Evie really quick. And he's like, why would you wake her up to give her a bottle? I'm like, because she's probably going to wake up here soon anyways. And it was like this weird sixth sense. And then I don't know, I got distracted and I didn't end up doing it. And then I swear to you, I fell asleep, which is, I feel like the worst when you just fall asleep, like for the first time at night and your baby wakes up. That's what happened. And I was like, if I were to just listen to myself, I wouldn't be dealing with this right now. And it totally ruined my whole night's sleep. So. Okay.
Next one. No one prepares you for how hard postpartum is.
I would agree to that for sure. I think postpartum is a beast unlike any other beast. I think probably the closest thing would probably be like before that is probably when you like first start like getting the hormone changes and you just feel so out of control and everything. It just feels like you're a stranger in your own body. It's kind of like
I also feel like if you have never gone through it, you don't listen either. Because I feel like I've just by personal experience of who people I've talked to, they kind of feel like they think it's like a state of mind. So they feel like that they're like, oh well, I'm just not going to do what you did, so I'm going to make sure I change it. Versus people realizing that it happens to everybody.
I also think there's a lot of shame with it because like I remember feeling a lot of shame like after my first daughter because I was just like really numb mentally and I felt so shameful because I'm like, dude, like everything is perfect. Everything went, so this never happens. But my birth plan that I had in place went perfectly to plan. Like everything went to a T. Even like the length of my labor and everything went to a T. And I still felt numb and I still felt like, I don't want to call it baby blues because I wasn't sad. I just felt like,
yeah. And I also feel like to me, I feel like when it's your first baby, nobody prepares you. Like that first week is like the best week ever. You're on a high, but it's also one of the hardest weeks because you're learning how to feed your baby. You're learning how to do all this stuff.
And it depends on the baby too.
And it comes with a long line of frustrations. And then like another frustration is if you have a baby in the NICU, that's another. So people don't prepare you for like, if your baby doesn't latch or if they do latch or how much it hurts or when you're not, if you
they'll tell you it's not supposed to hurt, but honestly, because you guys are trying to figure it out, at least at minimum the first 2 weeks are super painful.
And they don't tell you how stressful it is when your milk hasn't come in yet. And then they don't tell you how painful it is when you wake up engorged. They don't,
oh my God, that's
they don't tell you any of this. And then like also like that does a lot to you.
I do also feel like we don't hear until it's relevant to us. I do feel like that might be a thing because I do feel like there's a lot more information out there nowadays on like postpartum, on things like that, but I feel like we don't really, I don't know, especially as women, like I know for me personally, like I can hear it, but I'm not listening unless like I relate to it sometimes.
I think there's just some things in life you cannot prepare yourself for until you've experienced
and birth is one.
Yeah, and if you
birth classes are helpful, but they're like nothing prepares you.
Postpartum, because those are hormones you've never dealt with before. So how are you going to prepare yourself for hormones that you don't know what it is?
And also the whole identity shift. It's like you don't even realize it's happening until like you're so deep into it, and you're like, dude, who am I anymore? And it's it's frustrating, but it is temporary. That is one thing I do want you guys to hear is that is super temporary. It's not forever, and you will get past it.
Yes, and if you are struggling, it is okay to ask for help. I can say that I have struggled with postpartum depression the last 5 years. The last 2 years, it was really, really bad. To where I finally realized like I can't do this alone. And
there's no shame. There's no shame in asking for help.
Because the thing is, if you don't ask for help, it can get worse, and that is when it becomes a worry. Which, in the next few episodes, next one, you should find out the gender as soon as possible.
I feel like this is a personal preference, but I agree. Alicia knows. She told me at 7 weeks, so I didn't believe her, but yeah,
I think it depends on the circumstance. I know a lot of IVF moms that they prefer not to do the gender because when you go through IVF, they said it takes out the surprise factor of finding out you're pregnant because you don't get to experience, like, you don't get to look at the test or anything. So they want that surprise factor back.
Well, like I said, it just depends on, the baby.
Personally, I mean, I didn't know the gender of my first son. And
to be fair, you did.
Well, also I didn't know. We'll get into that later on, maybe. But I didn't. But my next one, I wanted to know everything about. I was not going to be blindsided at all.
Yeah.
With my other son and daughter, I was like, I can wait till birth. But my husband was like, nope, I want to know. So
not me. I wanted. Well, to be fair, you even with your last son.
Yeah, I didn't want to know. I wanted to see if I could wait till birth, and he wouldn't let me.
I couldn't wait. I need to know as soon as humanly possible.
Yeah, and I feel like it also, like, I do feel like when you find out if it's a boy or a girl, it helps with that bonding. Yeah, because you give the baby a name and stuff like that.
And it makes it more real to be like, oh, like, for example, my friend found out she was having a boy, but she was really sick in her pregnancy. She has, what's that called? HG. She has HG, and so she like pukes all the time. Even now, like into the second trimester, she pukes all the time, and like that is so miserable, and I feel so bad for her. But like when they found out that they were having a boy, like it was just like kind of a, oh my gosh, like it's all for something. Like it's not just suffering. Like I'm actually carrying like a baby, you know? So
I think that's awesome.
It is. Me too. I do too.
Announcing pregnancy early is a mistake. I disagree.
I think it depends on the person. But I would say that I don't agree that it's a mistake because sometimes, if you do miscarry, God forbid, it's nice to have the support of other moms and friends. But like for me, I'm kind of like private, so I don't really know if I personally wouldn't love to like announce it and then miscarry. And I've obviously never been through that, but I'm like a super personal or super private person. Like I don't really grieve out loud, so I don't know if that would be like a good thing for me. But some people do like to grieve out loud, and there's nothing wrong. There's no wrong answer here. So,
well, I've had a lot of moms ask me when is the appropriate time to announce, and I always tell them whenever you want to,
whenever you feel like it.
There is no time, because I know people like, you should wait till the second trimester, you should wait till this, you should wait till that. Well, that's personal preference. If you want to wait, if you want to celebrate it from the rooftops the minute you pee on the stick, then go do it. Like there's no right way or wrong way. Personally, the moment I peed on a stick and found out, I went to my parents right away and told them. Then I called my siblings, and then
on Facebook, I feel like is a little different, but I would never tell anybody.
I always announce it within a few days.
Oh, really?
It didn't bother me. Like I already experienced a chemical pregnancy. I already had gone through that. Like I personally, I did not. I feel like I'm like, you know what? I'm going to celebrate it for however much I have, and
there's nothing wrong with that.
And I think there are people like that. But there's people that are like, no.
I waited to announce with all of my last. Excuse me. I waited to announce with the last 3 of my kids because I wanted to know if it was a boy or girl before announcing, because I just wanted to prepare myself for all the comments of, what are you going to do if it's another girl? Or like, I just would rather have the certainty of, we're having another girl, we're very excited about it, and no, we don't want your 2 cents. You know what I mean? Like, that's like something that I always did kind of wait for, but it wasn't for the simple fact of like, the miscarriage part of it. It was more of like, I didn't want to hear people's, well, I hope it's a boy. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just kind of bummed me out.
I think the only thing I kept to myself for all of them was the name.
Yeah.
I just didn't want anybody's opinions on the name. Because if I
did not care. Once I decided that baby's name, you could tell me that was your.
Well, it was just because it was.
I almost said something bad. Sorry.
It would have been good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I put a lot of thought into their names, and I make sure that they have a sentimental factor to it, and so it's something that I always am very proud of. So that's like something I keep to myself, probably until like the baby shower, because in the baby shower, or I only had one baby shower, but it's like usually posted there. But I don't know. Do whatever you want.
There's no right or wrong way to do anything. Especially, that's one thing you'll learn about me and Alicia is we just don't, like, you do things however you want to do them. And, like, if anybody shames you for it, just be like, look at them weird because why are you judging me?
Mm-hmm.
You just wait. You just wait until it's your turn, and then you can decide to be a perfect parent, and we'll see how good of a parent you are, how perfect you are. So,
it is okay to breastfeed a 4-year-old.
I don't know.
So
I'm gonna get okay.
I think it's okay.
I
hate to say this, but I don't know how to say it in the right way. If your child can come up to you and ask you for your boob, I think they're too old.
I agree.
Personally, like if they can come up, I don't know. I
get okay. I know it's wrong to feel this way, but I do feel like weirded out by that. Like only because, yeah, exactly what like Alicia said. Like I don't know if you do whatever works for you, but I personally would not. I mean, I've never breastfed past a year, so
I don't.
Who am I to judge?
Yeah,
you know?
I just to be honest, I hated breastfeeding. It was very overstimulating to me. It stressed me out. I think the longest I went with any of my kids was 6 months because they would start cluster feeding and they would get into the
okay, so good.
They would go through their growth spurt,
Yeah.
where they're and it would just overstimulate me and it would stress me out, and so
super.
I just would end up my supply would drop and I would have a hard time getting it back up. So honestly, I think also maybe because I don't like breastfeeding, I would be like, no. Okay, gentle parenting doesn't work.
Yeah,
I've got thugs, so it does not.
I'm gonna agree with that.
Gentle parenting does not work with feral kids, feral toddlers.
And I'm not gonna tell you to spank your kids, but like wall sits work wonders.
So does
butterfly kicks?
No, I make my kids write 1,000 times a sentence of something that they've done. Like with Jaden, if he did something, like he cheated on a test one time, he had to write 1,000 times, I will never cheat again.
Oh my gosh.
Or he has had to get on his knees and scrub my floors.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like it's something that's like discipline based. I mean, obviously, if you spank your kids, like I don't judge because I also spank my kids, but I do feel like they get to an age where you no longer spank them, and that's when I start doing like more structured
Spanking
things.
doesn't work on my kids.
Yeah. And it depends on the kids.
Well, honestly, I haven't tried on my daughter just because I've given up on it. Like, again, I don't beat my kids or anything, but like there are times where they need it. But I've just learned that, like, I've learned with each kid certain things work. Like with my oldest, taking something from him or making him write, it affects him. Yeah. My second one, telling him not to do something, he's very sensitive. He learns. My third one, he doesn't give a shit about anything. I have not learned what works for him yet, but it drives me nuts.
And coffee.
My daughter, she is very, she's only an ass towards me. Like, I'm the one that gets the attitude because once daddy walks in, she goes, so nobody sees it. And so I'm just like, I just like, daddy, Tim, and she'll walk in, she'll be like, and she'll pucker her little lip, and he's like, oh, come here, princess. I'm like, you're the problem.
Yeah.
You are the problem.
You would think after like 5, he would, my husband would get that, but no, he doesn't.
Oh, no. I've watched him crumble with every one of them.
Yeah. Josh will be like, he's like, I know they're manipulating me and I just don't care.
So one of my favorite things that I've ever seen Josh do, it just made me see why you love him so much because he reminds me of Tim. So we were here one day and I think you guys were getting your room ready or something.
Yeah.
And her daughter was running around the house in tap shoes and Christian was like, get the tap shoes off. And he goes, Christian, how many more years do you think we have before we're not going to be able to tell her to take her tap shoes off anymore? And she goes, okay. And he goes, yeah, because there's going to be a time where she's not going to wear that anymore. And I was just like, this is why you and my husband have a bromance, because you guys have those little girls wrapped around your finger, or they have you wrapped around their finger, and they are like, we're not going to have this much longer. And
I love it when I'd stop complaining to him because he's like, this isn't forever. You're going to look back and wish you were in this moment. And I'm like, not this moment.
Not the tap shoes, but okay.
Like, okay.
Okay. Every parent compares their kids to other kids.
I would agree. I mean, that can be like a billion different ways. Like my kid's better than that kid, or my kid behaves better than that kid, or my kid behaves worse than that kid. Like I feel like that's only normal. I mean, comparison is something we all do as humans. So I wouldn't say I do it like in a negative way.
No, I think that I don't compare my kids, but I do remember with my oldest when I noticed that he wasn't talking and there was kids his age talking, that was when it sparked me, be like, is there something going on? So I don't think we compare our kids, but we do notice that, like, you notice when they're when you notice when they're in the same age group. But I will say my last 3 kids are the same age as hers. So my 2 boys are the same age as 2 of your girls. And
no, it's Rosie and it's Liam. Colin's older than Baylor.
She's 4.
Baylor's about to be 4 in June. I have a 4 and a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old.
Okay, that's right. See, okay, so they're all around the same age.
Yeah.
So I guess I thought that Colin was closer to your second one.
She's about to be 7.
Well, he's close enough to that. But so when we had them all here together, I noticed, like, I'll notice that, like, how her girls are versus my boys. Well, my boys are more of rambunctious and they want to play. Liam got in her chicken coop and was going after her chickens, whereas the girls are like, don't hurt them, get away, very, very strict. And not saying he was being bad, just he is addicted to animals, like, and then, but I noticed that, like, the girl, Rosie and your youngest, they were so much alike. And so, I was comparing,
Not my youngest, but
No, the
Baylor.
Noe, right? Yeah. So I just noticed that, like, they were sitting there playing with the Elsa and Anna dolls and stuff. And so, I wasn't comparing, but it was really funny watching boys versus girl dynamic, because she's always telling me, she's like, I don't know how you do boys.
It's so funny because the girls are always like, bring the boys over.
I know.
They
she's
look
probably
crazy.
she's probably like, not today.
I'm like, let me see if I get wine in the cabinet. I'm just kidding. I'm just
mostly
teasing.
Liam. Okay. Colin's very good.
No, I'm just kidding. We love them both. And, and I'm just teasing.
Checking your spouse's location is normal.
Yeah, I need to know if I need to speed clean my house, okay? If he's going to be home in 5 minutes, I've been sitting on the couch scrolling TikTok. I'm not going to let him know that, okay? I'm going to get up and I'm going to get dinner started.
Yeah. Actually, if my husband's in a location, if he stopped a location too much, in my head, he's dead in a ditch. So, like, are you okay? Like,
see, with my husband's job, he's at random houses all the time. So it's almost like,
I think that's like the EMS in me, though. Like, if he's at a stop, if I know he's at an intersection and he's, like, sitting there for too long, did you just get hit? Or I hate to say this, but okay, I won't give our city. But when he used to, like, Uber and DoorDash, I'd be like, okay, you're in a bad neighborhood. Have you been shot? Are you still alive? And he'd be like, oh my God, because I knew where he was at. I'm like, okay. Or he would call me and I would hear sirens. Get out of here now!
I think the worst is when you check their location and they're eating something that you want to eat and you're like, I thought you loved me. What in the heck is wrong with you? Why would you go there without me? Like Josh, he went to Terry Black's without me, and I'm still pretty mad about that. I'm not gonna lie.
So a few weeks ago, I started an IV on somebody, and she is one of Jaden's teachers. So she decides to tell me, she goes, I just want to tell you, I saw your husband at a red light the other day, and he was scarfing out a burger, and it made me so hungry. I called him up. I said, what did you have? And he goes, well, I was eating Freddy's. I was like, what?
Freddy's? That's so good. That is a betrayal. And if it's In-N-Out or Freddy's, we're having a conversation.
Right. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, seriously. Their fries are so good.
So, traveling with kids isn't worth the chaos. Sometimes.
I disagree. I will travel with my kids anywhere and everywhere.
Traveling, yes. Going to the store sometimes is not worth it. I'd rather have it delivered.
I agree with that. Especially the world we live in. We do a lot of grocery deliveries. In fact, I don't even remember the last time I've been to a store, if I'm honest. So
I love we traveled to Virginia with my kids, and I honestly loved it. I sat in the back with them, and it was just
we travel to Ohio once a year. I mean, it's just like you kind of get used to it, and you kind of get the hang of it, and your kids also get used to it. I also think your kids will act the way that you allow them to. So,
yeah.
Just saying.
Yep.
And if you reward them with candy, they also listen a lot better.
No,
Mine do.
Well, I mean, I always try to bribe candy, but then I forget about it. It's just like, I don't know. I
end up eating most of it.
My kids listen pretty well. It's just when I'm around new people and they're trying to test those boundaries.
Or they're on the phone, because that's what mine do too.
Yeah. My third son, he is in a level of testing his boundaries that I've never seen before. And I don't know if it's just because he's the third or what it is, but I have never had a child that I have tried to figure out how to sell on Etsy more times than this child. Because I'm like, oh my God, what happened to you? Like, I told my husband, I was like, there has to be a factory reset.
She's like, did I accidentally drink them? I don't remember.
I was like, is there a factory reset? Like, where is this button at? Like,
he's precious. He's a precious boy. But I did the same thing with my third. I'm like, my God.
Yeah.
God was really testing me on this one.
Yes.
This one was sent to test me.
Yes, I did not learn my lesson with that one.
No.
Okay. And the last one, sex is different after birth.
Yeah, it is. It is different. Sometimes better, sometimes worse. Sometimes it's temporary different. A lot of the time it's like temporary. Like,
I think the first year or two it's all survival, so yes, it is different.
Yeah, and I think sleep has a lot to do with it. I think for women specifically, we're very emotional, and so if we're not emotionally into it, then it's just not there.
They call sex during the first 2 years, it's all survival sex. Like, it's like,
get
boom,
through.
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and we're done. Like, that's.
I would have to disagree with that. Just saying. Okay.
And
before you go, okay,
it's a wrap on the Waddling After Dark, where we say what everyone else is thinking.
Before you go, hit the follow button, leave a comment down below. It helps other moms find us, and share this with your mom crew.
Same chaos, same time, same day.
See you next
Friday.
week. Yep. Good night.
And good luck.